This is one of the most stunning and most popular flowers to grow at home.
Dahlias are known to be kept blooming in the fall, which is why people a lot love them. Twin Cities home to one of 8 Dahlia Trial Gardens.
I did not know this garden guy on DLK visited the garden in Chanhassen to find out how new varieties of the flower are selected for the home gardener.
G'day everyone. Well, it might be the end of summer, but that doesn't mean that all the blooms are finished. This morning we are here at the Dahlia Trial Garden, and it's probably one of the most spectacular garden flowers you can have, and still kind of in prime bloom right now. Joining us this morning, Heidi Ziert from the Dahlia Society, Minnesota Dahlia Society. So tell me a little bit about the society itself and this trial garden.
The society, we maintain this trial garden out here at the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum. And this is, like I said, our trial garden. So what we do out here is most of these blooms that you see here, these are all hybrids sent in by hybridizers from around the country. These are not available on the market yet. They're currently being trialed by our judges. We're going to come in and evaluate all of these and decide, are they worthy to pass or not.
What are some of the criteria? What are you looking for in a dahlia?
Sure, well there's 7 characteristics that we evaluate. There's form, color, substance, stem, foliage, bloom position, and then floriferousness, which is basically how much does it bloom.
And they're really kind of a spectacular flower in itself, so large, so showy. What are some of the different types of flowers?
Well, there's 20 different forms that range from like 12 inches to what people would call like that dinner plate, down to under 2 inches. You can see all the different forms just looking around. Like we have the ball type that are very round and a lot of structure to them. We have these, like this orange fluffy one over here, which is called an informal decorative, which is very frilly and kind of twisty and curly.
How many trial gardens are there in the country?
There's 7 in the country, and I believe 8 in North America. There's one in Canada. So this is our color guide, the American Dahlia Society color guide. And what this does is, since we have brand new dahlias that have never been seen before, and we have to decide, well, what color are they going to be? So we have all of these different color chips, and we try to do our best to be able to match the color that we see in our flower to this color guide.
What do people like most about dahlias?
Oh, I don't know. So that's one of the fun questions I always love to ask people that come to our shows, and they go, oh my gosh, they're just so unreal. And I'm like, what one of all of these is that to you, right? And everybody has a different favorite. Like I literally grew up in dahlias, so some of the more ball type, the more formal varieties, they're kind of old hat to me. I grew up with those.
So the formal one is this, like,
yes,
like this one here, this style of flower?
Yeah,
okay.
Yep. Or like this one behind you here too, this orange one. So those would all be considered formal decoratives. I love these. These are called laciniated. They're a little bit of a, like I said, they're just not that old school, typical formal decorative dahlia. So I really love those.
We should mention that they aren't annual. They do need to get planted every year. Explain that process. It really kind of, you can actually save the tubers, right?
Right. So after a hard frost, once the plants go black, you're gonna let them sit for about a week. Then you can cut everything down, and then you can dig up your tubers. And your tuber is gonna come out. You plant 1 tuber in the spring, but in the fall it's gonna have multiplied. So you might have up to 6 viable tubers that you can divide and then store. And then the storage process is, you want to keep it pretty cool. You got to keep enough,
like 40,
enough
50
moisture.
degrees, right?
Yep, exactly. But you don't want it to freeze, because if it freezes, it'll turn to mush.
This is Dahlia 05, one of those 19 that are being trialed this year. And Heidi tells me this one for sure is going to make it because of its beautiful form, beautiful color. But to be quite truthful, I literally love them all, especially this one. Look at it, it's the size of my head. Now, as Heidi mentioned, this is one of 8 trial gardens across the nation. We're super happy to have it right here in Minnesota to ensure that you'll always have beautiful dahlias for your garden. Back to you.